The girl is the daughter of a great general of Shin, skilled in every form of martial arts. Yet upon her first return to the capital, she feigned a fragile, sickly disposition. Help! Oh, help! My mistress has fainted from the heat. Leaving the officials who came to cause trouble stunned. Her father is a general feared far and wide. Yet his daughter is a mere weakling. They had already prepared dozens of charges, planning to strike all at once. Then what are we to suspect? Since her health is so poor, you'd catch a cold just by a breeze. No sooner had they spoken than the hidden assassin suddenly struck. A stray arrow flew straight toward her. Fortunately, the girl reacted with speed and dodged it successfully. But she knew all too well that her father's power threatened the throne. The emperor named her Xianzhu on the surface, but it was actually to hold her hostage. And at that moment, the crown prince arrived with his guards just in time. The assassins were too strong, so they retreated. But the crown prince didn't believe she was truly so frail. He moved to inspect the carriage for himself. Her maid hurriedly stepped in to stop him, doing whatever she could to buy her mistress time. The girl seized the moment to smear powder on her face, feigning a look of sickly, deathly exhaustion. She then popped a cherry into her mouth, fainting from a sudden gust of wind. Her breathing was steady. Are you just faking this, Lady Xianzhu? Hua Liuli seized the perfect opportunity, suddenly coughing up blood. The maid, hearing the commotion, immediately threw herself into a dramatic performance. After a tearful, piteous plea, the gathered crowd began to cry out for justice for her. The crown prince could no longer pursue his investigation. Yet, he remained sharp enough to notice that there were no bloodstains on the hidden weapon. But he chose not to expose her on the spot. He wanted to see what Hua Liuli was truly planning. He then had her settled into a residence in the western suburbs. Little did he know, it was completely overgrown with weeds. The house was an absolute shambles. It was no place for any human to live. Even if I were a hostage, I shouldn't be treated like this. Enough, stop complaining. Let's go take a look over there. But after only a few steps, Yuxian screamed in terror. The plaque that had fallen before them had the word death carved into it. Once Liuli brushed away the dead leaves, she saw it read, Hua Residence. It was a strange twist of fate to end up at her own family's old estate. Hua Liuli knew well that this trip to the capital was fraught with danger. She decided to scout the Jinling court first to get the lay of the land. She dug out Yuxian's notebook. It was filled with notes on the most popular clothing and hair accessories in the capital. She had Yuxian dress her up according to those notes, to avoid being spotted by the guards at the gate. The mistress and maid snuck out through a hole in the wall. And just like that, they hurried in a carriage toward the Jinling court. As soon as they entered, they drew sneering stares from the noble women. One even mocked them to their faces as country bumpkins who had never seen the world. Just look at that outfit. Nobody has dressed like that for over a decade. Hua Liuli was not someone to be trifled with. My dear lady, you're so fierce. You've quite frightened us. Sister, I am your grandmother Jiaming. With just a few words, she slapped Jiaming's wife across the face. Little did she know, Jinzhu Jiaming's father is the Minister of Revenue. And her mother is Princess Shunan, a lady of impeccably noble birth. After a sharp exchange of verbal barbs, the two had officially become enemies. In the blink of an eye, the annual plum blossom feast arrived. Seeing Liuli surrounded by layers of onlookers, the Jinzhu immediately began to taunt her. She called her nothing but a sickly weakling. To make a spectacle of her in public, the Jinzhu deliberately suggested that Liuli perform a dance. Little did she know, Hua Liuli had already anticipated this move. After casting off her cloak, she revealed a magnificent dancing outfit beneath. The Jinzhu was stunned on the spot. She had intended to humiliate her, but instead, she gave her a stage to shine. As she danced with effortless grace, even the crown prince nearby was completely spellbound. Consort Xian, seeing this, was deeply vexed. She meant to bring shame upon her, but only helped her steal the spotlight. Left with no choice, she could only force a smile. What was that dance you just performed, Jinzhu? This subject calls it the face dance. And why is it called that? Just now, the pipa strings brushed past everyone's faces countless times, but never actually struck them. If it doesn't touch the face, it's called a face dance. But if it strikes the face, then it's a face-slapping dance. I must say, that counterattack was brilliant. After the banquet concluded, the crown prince stepped forward to assist her away. He even considerately took off his cloak and personally draped it over her shoulders. He told her that in such settings, there is no need to fight for dominance, as it involves the Hua family's interests. This subject had no choice but to fight with all her might. Hearing this, the crown prince felt a pang of pity for Liuli. How could one not understand the hardship of walking this difficult path alone? Just when it seemed the matter had settled, unexpectedly, the news reached the Empress Dowager's ears through spiteful gossip. The Empress Dowager, misled, took Hua Liuli for a schemer. She ordered her to move into Shokong Palace, intending to discipline her personally. Stay here. What? Are you dissatisfied with the quarters I provided? Hua Liuli had no choice but to accept. Just as she was leaving, she caught sight of various fabrics on display. A plan suddenly formed in her mind. She had heard the Empress Dowager loved collecting fabric for her designs, which happened to be her own forte. That day, she wore a dress of her own design to see the Empress Dowager. Her appearance instantly brightened the Empress Dowager's eyes. She then presented another garment to her. Upon opening it, they found it stitched together from fabric scraps, haphazardly patched without rhyme or reason. The Empress Dowager demanded why she dared present such trash, threatening to have her thrown out in a fit of rage. Yet, Hualuoli explained, she had boldly sewn this piece, aiming only to show the Empress Dowager that she is the greatest Empress Dowager in the hearts of thousands. Her words struck a chord with the Empress Dowager. Though she feigned disdain for the coarse stitching, she was secretly delighted. She even ordered it to be tucked away as a treasure. One must admit, the tongue is an art form. After spending these days together, the Empress Dowager found Liuli not only witty, but a rare, uncut gem of natural charm. She had grown genuinely fond of her. So, she granted her leave to depart. Before she left, she even gifted her a trinket she cherished in her youth. She saw that she was well provisioned with all manner of supplies. Meanwhile, the two were beginning to see eye to eye. The lady merely cast a glance at the maid beside her, and sensed she might be an assassin in hiding. She then feigned a faint, collapsing toward her. The maid panicked, instinctively catching the teacup. Realizing her mistake, she quickly let it go. Little did she know, the lady had seen it all. Hualuoli pretended to apologize to her, reaching out to graze the webbing of her hand. It was unmistakably rough to the touch. She was skilled in martial arts after all. Worried that the crown prince might be in danger, she slipped back into the room. As the maid approached to serve tea, Hualuoli feigned an air of concern. Your Highness, how could you be so careless? Look at this sister's hands. Her fingertips are so calloused, and the webbing of her hand is just as rough. It's nearly the same as my brother, who's been wielding a broadsword for years. While pretending to care for the maid, she was actually signaling the crown prince. The maid was so furious she could have killed her. Realizing her identity was compromised, the assassin immediately fired a hidden weapon. Hualuoli pretended to stumble into her, successfully deflecting the strike. The maid instantly drew a dagger and lunged at the crown prince. Seeing this, Hualuoli flung a glass shard at the maid's feet, helping the crown prince narrowly avoid another blow. In the end, the maid was seized by the arriving guards. Sister, the crown prince is so kind. What do you think you're doing? I have been hiding in Ankang court for years, waiting for this very day. You ruined everything. Still playing the innocent, are you? Just like that. Hualuoli kept her martial arts concealed, while helping the crown prince expose the assassin. Her strategy of feigning weakness to outwit her prey is truly masterful. Little did they know, this frail-looking girl has been a master of all martial arts since childhood. She only feigns illness to protect herself. One day, while Hualuoli was having tea on the street, she suddenly sensed she was being stalked by assassins. To make it easier for them to strike, Hualuoli deliberately led them into a deserted alley. Then, she sent her maid away. She really went out of her way to accommodate the assassins. Unexpectedly, her rival crossed her path. Jinju Jiamin yanked Hualuoli into a courtyard. As the two were arguing, a cloud of mysterious smoke drifted in through the window. Something is wrong with this room. Hardly enough air to breathe. Oh. Jiamin is being so clumsy in this freezing smoke. Let's play along with their game. After Hualuoli feigned a faint, several assassins dropped down from above. They couldn't immediately tell who Hualuoli was, and since time was running short, they simply took both of them away. Before long, Hualuoli woke up. She knew escaping alone wouldn't be difficult, but to ensure Jinju Jiamin remained unharmed, she had to wait for another opportunity. Hearing a noise, Hualuoli immediately closed her eyes to feign sleep again. My lady, don't blame me for being rough. The assassin heard her words, and Jiamin pointed to Hualuoli beside her. Which one of you is Xianju Hua? She is Hualuoli. How could it be like this? Fine. Since you say I am, then I shall give it a try. It really is her. The one you are looking for is me. Xianju Hua. No. This young lady is innocent. Just let her go. After a bit of tea and a performance, she successfully confused their senses. They saw that Jinju was plump and radiant, while the other was frail and gaunt, clearly looking long-term malnourished. Assuming Hualuoli was a pampered noble daughter, they concluded the plump one must be her. The Jinju nearly laughed in frustration. Meanwhile, the crown prince noticed Hualuoli was missing. Anxious and frantic, he immediately sent men to find her. During the meal, Hualuoli sensed the assassin's nature wasn't evil, so she kept calling her sister, this and that. A few words were enough to break the assassin's composure. So, she started treating their meals differently. Why is our food different? It looks thinner than yours. You really should eat more. Shortly after, the assassins planned to relocate them. Inside the carriage, Hualuoli began using her silver tongue to distract them. Then, while they weren't looking, she secretly threw her handkerchief out of the carriage. It was spotted by the crown prince as he rushed toward them. He knew for certain this was a clue left by Hualuoli. Before long, they were taken out to the wilderness. The men stared at Hualuoli, thinking it would be a waste to just kill her. So they began to harbor wicked intentions. Just as the Jinju was about to be violated, at the most critical moment, you leave me no choice. Hua Liuli decided to stop hiding her true strength. I have always believed that frailty is a weapon. But such a weapon only works on people. It is useless against animals. Facing an ambush by a dozen hulking men, she handled them with ease. In the blink of an eye, the thugs were knocked flat to the ground. Junju Jiamin begged for mercy and formed an alliance, praising her as the greatest beauty in the realm, and vowing never to cross her again. Yet, the very next moment, Hua Liuli reverted to her usual fragile self. Sister Jiamin, you truly frightened me just now. It is all thanks to you that you saved me without hesitation. You will always protect me, won't you? Right? Why was I so foolish? Why did I ever go looking for Hua Liuli? Why indeed? When night fell, Hua Liuli set up a makeshift tent. Fortunately, she grew up in the army camps, so such hardships were nothing to her. She even handed Jiamin a sachet to ward off insects. I won't breathe a word of yesterday's secret. Even if I did, no one would believe me anyway. A secret. I have a secret. What kind of secret? You. No, wait. I meant that you are truly a delicate, sickly beauty. Is that so? Jiamin felt stifled, but she could not say a word. Before leaving, Hua Liuli, wishing to leave no trace behind, kicked the tent until it shattered into pieces. Jiamin was stunned once again. She thought, if that kick had landed on her, she surely wouldn't have lived to see another day. Hua Liuli immediately reverted to her frail, delicate persona, insisting that Jiamin support her as they walked slowly. The two walked a long distance, until they finally encountered a passing.
Open the Simi TV app and watch the full series now.